Alright, we are heading to a doctor appointment for my daughter, and I'm driving, so you're gonna have to deal with this dirty. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's filthy. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with this dirty steering wheel because it's all I got. I drive a 2005 Dodge Stratus POS, don't we, Mars? No? Okay, she's not gonna talk. So, I wanted to talk about parenting with mental disorders, because that's what I do. I parent with mental diagnoses. Now, everybody's different. Everybody is going to have their own problems with what they deal with individually. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse practitioner. I didn't go to school to learn about the brain because my daughter's hydrocephalic. Okay, and I know enough about what the brain on my end. I don't need to know no more about the brain. I've learned enough. Okay, I need an alignment. Anyways, I've learned enough. So, my diagnoses are as follows. I have severe PTSD from multiple things in life, and I'm pretty sure that I've had that for a long time, not just PTSD from my dad's death, because other things that happen in life produce the symptoms of PTSD. Bad. But we're not gonna go into all that. Okay, I will give you examples, but not that. PTSD, off the charts, ADHD. The nurse practitioner's words, not mine. I scored off the charts. You'll probably notice that by how I talk. And then I have severe major recurrent depression. It doesn't go away, it stays. Okay, so we're just gonna, I hate driving in New Haven. Bro, go. So PTSD, off the charts ADHD, severe major recurrent depression. I have 2 anxiety disorders and a binge eating disorder, which I am taming that monster. Like, it's getting down, okay? So I parent with all these things, even though I'm on medication. And I'm sure anybody else can tell you this. Medication is not 100% effective, and it's gonna be touch and go some days. A lot of the days for me it is touch and go, because we still haven't worked out my medicine. Still haven't worked it out. It takes time to find the perfect balance and the right thing for you. So, how do we cope with being a parent with when you have mental disorders? Well, sadly in my case, I don't know how. And for those of you who will tell me that I need to go to therapy or counseling, that's one of the things that I suffer from PTSD from, because this is hard. When my dad died when I was 9, that day when my mom and the pastor at the time came in and told me that, although my mom fibbed me and she told me that he died on the way to the hospital, which is not true. I've told you guys before. My dad drove semi and he fell asleep at the wheel and had a head-on collision, and his refrigerator trailer blew up. And they had to identify him by his dental records. He was dead before arrival. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was toast, to put it, no pun intended. Okay. So that day, when my mom told me that my dad died, I stopped feeling any kind of like emotion for my mom, any kind of emotion toward family members. Quite frankly, I lost emotion with friends and other people for a while. I don't like to give hugs unless it's my children. I mean, I created them, you know. They're mine. Like, I want them to know that it's okay to show affection to other people. But that day, I lost all of it. Like, I don't have the ability to do that anymore. My mom takes it on a butt hurt level, but that's a whole nother video. I ain't going there today. So, parenting. Parenting with ADHD. Can we just talk about parenting with ADHD for a second? Because parenting with ADHD is like trying to corral a herd of bees in your head and then try to run a farm at the same time. That's a good analogy. Corralling a beehive of bees in your head and trying to run a farm at the same time. That's really good. I need to patent that. Y'all hear me? So my brain does not stop. Like, it's 24/7 does not stop. And I don't just like think about random things, because I do think about random things, but I also think about everything that has ever happened to me or said to me or anything that I smelled. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Marley, are you okay? You good? Okay. She likes to nod her head in the back seat, and I can't see that, even with the mirror. So, damn, this ADHD, I forgot what I was talking about. Yo. Okay. I don't just think about random. What? What? Yeah. I know. So I don't just think about all of that. I also think about everything that's ever said, been done, touched, smelled, felt, everything. Like, it doesn't ever go away. It always stays there. And I overanalyze things, and I think my ADHD causes that. Like, I'm overanalytical. I'm hypersensitive to every sense that I have. And so when I'm trying to parent my children, my brain takes over in another direction.
I want you to go to my...
We're going to the doctor's appointment. We're going. Okay? No, Daddy's at home with Bubby and Sissy. So, it's hard. It's very hard to tame the bees and run the farm. It's hard. It's very hard. Oh, it's hard. Like, I will try to... Okay, so, like, here's a good one. My kids will ask me for lunch, breakfast. They'll ask me for a drink. They'll ask me to color. They'll ask me to turn on a movie, whatever. The kids ask you 7,000 questions in a day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So whilst I'm going to start to do that, I will notice 25 other things that need done. And then I start to do those, totally forget what I was doing with my kids. And then in between starting to do one of those 27 things, I start doing the rest of the 27 things. Did I say 25? I don't know. I start doing the rest of them. And it's ridiculous. And then a half an hour later, my son's like, Mom, you still haven't gotten me anything to drink. I don't trust him to pour because he don't pay attention. I think he's getting that from me. I honestly think that there's something up there that he doesn't, like, if he has ADD, something like that. But, yo, it's hard. Like, as soon as I think of something, it's gone. It's gone. As soon as I think of something that I need to do and I go to put a note in my phone, I've lost it. I can't remember what the note was for. Like, it's crazy. So, just the analogy. Parenting with ADHD is like trying to corral a beehive of bees and run a farm at the same time. Okay? They don't stay in there, and your farm isn't ran unless you run it. Okay? So you're constantly like mentally tired, you're emotionally tired, and it even gets me physically tired. Okay? So we got to ADHD. Let's talk about parenting with anxiety. Can I get an amen? Can I get a witness? Can I get Steve Harvey to come up in here and preach today? Oh my Lord. So, parenting with anxiety is adding 10 times more volume of stress than just parenting with the ADHD. Parenting with anxiety is something that you got to be on your game. Like, you got to have stuff prepared in your house, because anxiety and depression go hand in hand. They married for life. It's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. They are one, okay? They are one being. Because you don't have one without the other. People try to tell you that you can just have one, but you can't. It's both. Both like this. So parenting with anxiety and depression is way harder than just parenting with ADHD, but then throw them together and it's fun. You know what I mean? So, parenting with anxiety and depression, there's days, and I saw somebody say this on a video I watched a while ago. She said she knows that they're there, she knows that they're coming, so when they come, she's prepared. She has outfits for each of her children put in a place where they can get them without having to rifle through a dresser and make a mess. She has food prepared so they can get it themselves. You know, snacks, easy stuff to grab, drinks, things that they can do without her having to do it, because I've been there. Days when you just, like, you can't even do it. You can't do anything. Because, like, your anxiety will have you freaking out over everything. There's dishes that need done. There's laundry that need done. The floor needs mopped. Oh my God, look at that cat box. Oh my gosh, the dog pooped on the floor. Oh my gosh, my kids have diarrhea all day. Oh my gosh, there's juice puddle on the floor. Oh my gosh, my kids dropped macaroni on the floor. Like, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, my husband left his underwear and his pants right beside the laundry basket on the floor. And there's pee on the toilet seat. What am I going to do? Well, your depression comes in. Hello. And he says, hey, anxiety, I'm going to sit with you today. And depression makes it so that even though all that crap is making your anxiety go through the roof, you can't do anything about it. Because depression, you see all that stuff and then you're like, oh my God, all this needs done. But I don't want to do it because it's too much. It makes me sad. I don't want to do it. I'm aggravated, I'm angry about it, so I'm just going to let it all sit. The puddle on the floor, the pants, the macaroni, the cat box, dirty clothes, all of it. You're going to change your kid's diaper. Don't starve me on that one. You're going to change the diaper, and you might pick up the dog poop, but that's about it. Everything else is going to sit. You're going to get gnats and all that stuff because you don't want to deal with it. And if you tell me you're wrong, or if you tell me if I'm gross and I'm wrong, you must have none of any mental disorders, or you are in denial about the fact that you have them. And you're just trying to act like you ain't never been there, okay? Even with parents who don't have mental disorders, I know that there's moms out there, and dads if you stay at home, that just don't care one day and they just give up for one day. And it's fine. It's okay to do that. But however, with those two monsters living together in your head, it's a rough one. So that's my 2 cents on the anxiety and depression. Y'all want to tackle the big one in the room? PTSD. Ooh, have mercy. Okay, so it comes in all forms. It comes in all shapes and sizes. It can happen to anybody, and anybody can be affected by it. And it can come into effect through many different things. My dad died 98, sorry, getting ahead of myself. In 1998. I'm just now in my 30th year of life. I was 9. I'm just now in my 30th year of life getting my own home. Because my mom never took me to a psychiatrist. She only took me to therapy, and she only said that I had an attitude problem and threatened me to go to juvenile center or whatever. Like, she didn't try and to dig deeper. She said she followed the doctor's recommendations. Well, 21 years ago, doctors didn't take this stuff seriously, and now they are. It's a huge difference then and now. And sometimes I blame her and sometimes I don't. But that's neither here nor there, because that's for another whole day, another whole video. I can do a whole video on the aggravation my mom brings me. But we ain't finna do that here because it's already 16 minutes going on here. I'll be here for another hour. PTSD is hard. And I didn't know that's what it was. I didn't understand why my brain, well, with all of it, ADHD, I'm pretty sure that's a life thing. I'm pretty sure I've had that for life. But you don't know when you're a kid why things are going on in your head. You don't know why you feel ways. You don't know what's causing it. And it sucks because I would get so mad when I was a kid at my mom after my dad died. I would get so mad for no reason. No reason. I would just be so mad, and I could not understand what was going on inside my own head because I would be so mad. And then after the madness ran its course, I felt like nothing happened and I would be fine. And then she would be mad at me for being mad and ground me and discipline me for something that I couldn't control. So parenting with PTSD is doubly as hard because you're an adult and you know why it happens. And even on medicine, you guys, you can't control all of it. That amygdala in the back of your brain back here, when it takes off, it is almost impossible to stop it until it runs its course and it's done. Until it dies down. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. And so when I have fits of rage, I feel bad for my kids because they didn't ask for this. They didn't ask for a mom who can't control her shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's so hard. I'm gonna start crying. It's so hard. Like, if I come in and I see mess on the floor, for whatever reason, I get into a fit of rage because I don't want bugs. Oh my gosh, we had roaches when I was younger, and I went through bed bugs and I went through lice in my lifetime. I don't want to see it. Okay, so I freak out. I freak out about everything, and it's like I get so mad, and I when that happens, and I have those like days, and sometimes they're days in a row. But when I have those days, there's nothing anybody can do to stop me, and my husband gets pissed off about it because he says all I'm doing is yelling, and he says I just need to calm down and stop. Well, it's not that easy, Freud. If you go to doctorate school and become a certified PhD, you'd understand, okay? But he's not, and that's not his fault. So it's hard. So if you have, well, most of my daughter's doctorates right here. If you have any of these, and even if you don't know, even if you feel like you don't know what's going on and you want to get help, but you don't know how, make yourself a psychiatrist appointment. If you know there's something wrong, if you feel like there's something wrong, if you don't feel normal, if you feel like you're helpless and you don't understand why things are happening, go to the doctor. I'm dead serious. I waited so long because I thought that I just had a chip on my shoulder or I had a bad attitude. Well, it turns out I don't, okay? Ooh, this hair. I don't. I have several things wrong with me, and I need medication to help that. And anybody who says they don't need help with anything that's wrong with them is wrong. Okay? They're wrong. So I just wanted to do this little video. My phone's dirty with all that dust down there. To let you guys know that it's okay to get help. It's okay. If y'all have any tips parenting with any of these things that I talked about,
Gotta go out.
drop them because I need it. Okay.